Hello, fellow confused minstrels. How the devil are anthems supposed to work? I shall endeavour to try and take the clunky out of... Sorry, the clunk out of clunky anthems. Okay, I am in red. I have an array of anthems. I have 5 anthems I can fire off. I have prowess and composure. Pretty meh, more defensive group stuff, perhaps, but 7% melee damage. Not quite as good as the 10% melee damage here, but these two combine into a single anthem. These two combine into a single anthem. Let's give it a try. As a red minstrel, I would like to go and fire off an anthem. I don't want to fire off that one. If I fire off that one, and then get its pair up, if you look at this, this is the concatenated 2 original anthems. So it's got fire, light, and frost and lightning damage from this, the light, fire, frost and lightning damage. This also gives the minstrel cry on the chorus. So that's why we have a personal saying this is the cry of the chorus, this is the anthem. But these are on different cooldowns now. If I wanted to get them, if I wanted to press that one, it wouldn't buff my personal anthem. What I need to do is I need to buff this one, and look at the timers, 1:14:23. They're both refreshed. So I get my own personal one. I also get the war and dissonance. Okay, so that's the combining, that's the last change that went in, to combine these two. So effectively, when you come to do that, that refreshes both of them at the same time. If you were to do war, or conversely composure, it wouldn't give you the personal buffs that this one does. So this one does strikes. You can hit boom, no cooldown. Oh, I say we haven't got it yet up there yet. Let's do this. Now we can go strike, strike, strike. When you haven't got too much corruption removal already. Now it should be on cooldown. Herald strike, what's it giving me? Incoming healing modifier. It's always very nice. So we're not over here. We've still got this building down, but perhaps we've got this concatenated into 2. We've got this concatenated into 2. Plus we got our personal buff from our ballad in our tree. So let's, we've got Cry of the Chorus off cooldown, so bang, bang, boom. And we still got, if we weren't out of combat now, we still have this, which is tracked up here, is it? Maybe not, maybe I've got rid of that from that list. So we've got these two, we've basically got 4 anthems plus our cry and calls up, and that's how you don't end up with every 20 seconds trying to apply an anthem, another 20 seconds apply an anthem, another 20 anthem, another 20 anthem, another 20 anthem, another 20 anthem. we can literally shelve these off all to over a quick session, and if we're lucky with a cool down, there we go. We got 113 to 122. We got all these anthems up and running. We have the melee people will be happy because we've got plus 10% damage and incoming healing modifier. We have this melee damage. I have my cries and calls, and everyone's got their ranged tactical and light fire frost damage. So everybody's happy, and literally we're not in a rush. We're not waiting for that 20 seconds, every 20 seconds to do something. We can literally pile on all the buffs, and if we're lucky, if we're in blue, we're bringing the cooldown of this down with our ballad skills, and if we're in red, we have a much better chance of resetting that. So we're getting down to time to refresh. Bigger boom, 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 boom. Let's try for Coda. Didn't get it that time. So now we can let that go, slip away. We're not in a rush to get that going, because it's relying on getting 2 anthems up and running. We can literally wait around. We can put that in now. We got plenty of time for these to come back to be refreshed, so that should be fine. And we can be getting on with our main task, healing or doing damage or buffing. Where's this Tale of Tales 3? How do you get that going? Well, I guess that only goes up if you are adding more of these. So what's Tale of Tales doing now? We're up to Tale of Tales 5, so we got the maximum buffage from Tale of Tales. Though, frankly, fate resistance ratings, if people are capped, not that they'll be necessarily capped on their finesse, resistance, critical rating that should be, but they're not really getting an awful lot out of that. Okay, let's do this. We've still got 30 seconds before we need to worry about this, so we knew we would get this back. And we're off doing our thing. And we could... Good. It's ideal time after you've buffed everything else to risk a reset to get that one up and running. So they're all pretty much the same time. It's just that we're not so confident that we can get this one back up and running at the end of that time. But we can be off doing our own thing. We aren't having to concentrate every 20 seconds to start a buff up. We can chill and relax, do damage. We're just waiting for the cooldown of Cry of the Chorus. And 30 seconds to go. We're not busy. We can go boom, boom, boom. Let's try it for the reset. We got it. And we're all up and running again. Not faffing about every 20 seconds. So hopefully that gives you an idea. Maybe I should wait for the end of it, because I should show you my approximation of what it would be like in a healing build. Sadly, it don't work. I'm still in combat. Oh, there, it works. Hooray! God. This is why one of the many reasons I don't raid is because I can't use my skills or things get bypassed. Where the heck did I put that healing build? And I made a build that had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As you can see, it's got sweet FA ability to oh, any of these have a personal. See, this compassion. You see, this has a. Where do I get compassion from? Where the hell does compassion come from? Compassion. So, oh, so maybe. Compassion's got a threat and tactical mitigation. Threat down. So that's got a personal buff, compassion. Okay, let's have a look at this in more detail. Resonance. As you're getting a bolster. And this one brings you threat generation down. So I'm thinking that I haven't just adjusted that yet. Right, this has got a personal buff. This hasn't got a personal buff. So that gets applied first, and this is used to refresh it, so that we don't refresh. This one, conversely, it's got something, a personal buff, the threat generation and tactical mitigation. And this one's got outgoing healing and healing skills induction. And the next bolster courage, there's no induction. So both these have an individual buff. It's all very intuitive, isn't it? Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Right. Makes the next bolster courage instant heal. Or reduces my threat. So, it's only 10 seconds worth. and that's the next one. So effectively, I've only got a brief bit of that effect. It's not as lasting as, say, my 3 herald strikes. So I've got my compassion and prowess. I've got my resonance and compassion. Sorry, composure and prowess, which is all good. If I want to get some less threat for 10 seconds, I can press that. If I want to heal, I can press that. But if I press that, my personal one is about to disappear. But what does my personal one give? It's not as important, is it? But I will refresh it. And I want my strikes with no cooldown. For some reason I want to be in melee. So I have these two and these two. But there's not a lot of difference between these two. There's a choice to be made. Do I want to heal or do I want some less threat? This one, do I want to do a strike skill? That's got no personal buff, so this is the one to use. In this case, I want to do a heal. I seem to be in the wrong stance though. But we have these two, composure and prowess combined. We have resonance and compassion combined. And we have our personal buff from our main tree only, Anthem. So that's good, isn't it? Is it good? It's kind of confusing that as having the anthems going from a different build, but still. I guess that could be a thing, couldn't that? Right, I'm going to try and get these up quickly with a coda reset. It didn't. But I got this one up first. It's not giving me anything bonus. This is giving me this will give me a Herald Strike bonus, and it will refresh both. So this is what I'm going to use. No panic, no panic. Got to get out of combat after 9 seconds. Do, 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 do. 4, 3, 2, 1. No panic. we're all dropping away, and they're all back. It's just that this one, well, potentially, this one is useful in that it can give me a coda critical chance and tactical crit chance as a way to refresh. But at the current moment, you do that, and that refreshes, but it doesn't refresh your overall cry and call damage, which is kind of where all this damage, AE damage, is coming from. So unless you're going to be wanting to hit coda and your tactical crit chance is lacking, you've got a choice to make, how are you going to refresh it? I'm going to refresh with that. And my cries and calls in an AE environment do a lot more damage. Of course, you could just be doing... Of course, that's the trouble is, with coda, you might think, coda might be part of your general damage plan, and you've got it resetting cry of the chorus all the time, or not, as the case may be. But anyway, let's use it up. Or you might be tied to try and keep doing this. I'd be inclined to give it a couple of tries at the start so that they're in the same ballpark of cooldown. That's if you're in a group, of course. But you've got a choice to make. You can easily refresh them to this state. But if you want to take... well, this one's a no-brainer because it's the one that's giving you something personally, the ability to hit this a number of times. On cooldown. Yeah, I'm guessing this should come after you get these 4 up and running, or 5, that one, 2 and 2. This should come after the event, I think. And so the others can wait. I'm not going to buff yet, because that would add stress, because I'd have things going off at a different time. So we're a few seconds away. Let's go for it. Let's have this one. So we don't have the ability, we've lost this removal of cooldown, and we haven't really gained much. So we restored some power. So you got a choice, power or some rapid strikes. So the boss man has gone into a drama mode, so you're running out of time. boom, boom. But we're up, and we're forgetting it. We can concentrate on everything else we like, and we've forgotten the anthems for a while. It's just that we lose our personal buffs. So our crying cold arrows last the length of the anthem. These ones last briefly. A heal for your fellowship on casting, and Herald Strike you get. However, they do buff. So what do we got? We've got 8-9 seconds to completely refresh all our anthems and our personal anthem. And if we were to do that process after the patch goes live, we will have additional 15 seconds. And if we were to do, hang on, let's wait a little bit, 5 seconds. I was hoping for the a refresh there. So having buff bars and having the visuals is key, and of course the game doesn't provide those visuals. What the how what But it's how the hell do I buff 5 anthems with 17 seconds going on cooldown? Not that time. And you're back to your normal roll. So, no every 20 seconds, but you have got to keep an eye on it for coming back to it in a minute. So it'll be a few deaths in the group perhaps when you're not thinking about it. So here we come back. Nope, no chance. Anyway, you have some choices. If you're, because of the way it's broken now, not giving us our personal cry and call damage. Don't refresh with that, because that will refresh, but that won't. The others are more situational and brief anyway. Either a one-off or no cooldown, and I don't know whether it just your next 3. I don't know how long that lasts while you're still in combat. I guess I don't know. But with all the buffs you can get on here, and you have no control, I take it. It's better to have other means to track it all. My cold damage has disappeared. It's all very intuitive, isn't it, guys? But we don't all have a PhD. I don't. Whether that helps anyone or just convinces people they're going to give up playing their minstrel, I don't know. I used to have multi-swap allies to buff my anthems to make it interesting. This has become a huge learning curve, and with all the sort of the immediate, oh, we love this, I'm thinking it's just purely based on those passes of healing and damage they're doing in their raids, because frankly that's all they're doing is they're passing a gear check, and who can pass the most sounds like a really boring thing to do. But unless you can track them, you're going to be totally lost. You might be thinking you're buffing everyone every 20 seconds and everyone's tickety-boo, but I don't know, are they actually extracting the max out of it all? Dare say if they were that analysing, they wouldn't raid at all, because it's just like well, I imagine it's a bit like a sweatshop where you have to pay for the latest raids and instances up front with cash. You might have peer pressure, I don't know, to use some MC perhaps to get your allies functioning. Anyway, I hope that makes it easier.